to Moreton Daily Stadium here on Community TV, Australia's home of live streaming. This is the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy Final. It's Lockyer District taking on Trinity Bay out of Cairns. And glorious conditions here. There is a slight breeze, but this for the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy Final to be competed between these two schools. Lockyer District coached by Matthew Schultz and Trinity Bay coached by Dan Weston. The referee for this one, Fletcher Shearman. Jury forms alongside David Wright. Righty, great to have you with us as always.
Likewise, Jury, what a day we're going to have today. All the best of Queensland footy and also ultimately Australian footy later on this afternoon. The Schoolboy Cup this afternoon. This one, Schoolboy Trophy, second tier down. We'll explain a little bit about how these sides have got to this point. Well done for them to get to the final.
All right, we are underway here at Moreton Daily Stadium. As we said, glorious conditions, David. There is a slight breeze, though.
Yes, mate. A bit of a sou'easter coming from right to left on your screen, so favouring that direction. Not a really strong breeze, but have a look at the conditions. The field is immaculate down here at Moreton Daily Stadium. This is the home of the Dolphins, of course, and we've certainly got perfect conditions for this game today.
We certainly do, David, in what well and truly is a festival of football this afternoon. I'll play 30-minute halves at this level. And David, I haven't seen the playing surface look as good as this as it does today.
Well, it's like a carpet, isn't it? And no excuses. The conditions are perfect. We're going to get some great footy here this afternoon. Already some strong tackling coming in from both sides. So the good thing is no error. Oh, there's the first one. It'll drop. That'll give it a great opportunity to go on the attack. But these two sides, just to give you a rundown, this is the second tier statewide competition. 73 teams started this competition earlier in the year over all 12 regions of Queensland. This is the participation-based competition rather than the high elite level, for want of a better word, of the performance level. So these are the kids who are playing in various schools across the state, and they've obviously got aspirations themselves. But this is about having a lot of fun, and congratulations to them for getting into the Schoolboy final. Defence pretty good at this stage, bit of pressure on. I think that's Cole taking the ball up.
So on the attack now, and a chance here, and we're going to see the opening try. What a try that is to open things up here. It was a brilliant play. They had the first opportunity, and they've taken it with two hands. And that is the opening try here at Moreton Daily Stadium. As we mentioned, beautiful conditions here. We've got plenty of action coming your way today. Most notably at the end, or our final game rather, is the Australian Schoolboy Cup final. And what an opening try there to Lockyer District. It was Shoniton Carapin. We know he's a strong ball runner. And the centre three-quarter opens up the scoring for Lockyer District, David Wright.
Yeah, good opportunity. Came off the back of an error earlier by Trinity Bay. They're from up in Cairns, and Lockyer District from Gatton, which is just at the bottom of the range, just before you get up to Toowoomba. So both these sides, obviously Lockyer District, they've come through to be the top side in southern Queensland, and on the other occasion, the Trinity Bay, they've been the best side across central and northern Queensland. So great efforts to get here. Now the pressure on to perhaps win it and be Queensland champs in this Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final.
And the conversion attempt there just waved away from Caden Buse, the halfback with the goal-kicking duties. There's a few players in this side playing for the Gatton under-19s. Buse is one of them. Pote's halves partner. Cooper Liston at the back, and Shoniton Carapin, the try scorer. What a dream start here for Lockyer District.
Yeah, they were here last year in the final, and they just got pipped by St Augustine's. So
back with Lockyer District now, taken on the full by Tristan Kerwick. He was a bench player 12 months ago in this side, now a strike weapon and well and truly has a mortgage on that centre position for Lockyer District. They lead 4 points to nil. As mentioned, 30-minute halves taking on Trinity Bay of Cairns. We'll talk more about them when they have the ball. Here's Clayton Andrew. He's a real leader of the pack. Will go all day for Lockyer District. Up over the 30 now. 4-0 the score. We mentioned there's a slight breeze. David, which direction is it heading in?
Pretty much coming off the right-hand side. So slight breeze in favour of that kick, in actual fact. Still picks the fullback out. You really got to try and find space if you can. And O'Brien brings the ball back strongly.
Liam O'Brien, the Trinity Bay fullback. Trinity Bay in Cairns, 2,000 students. And, well, it's believed that they have the largest population, or certainly one of the largest population of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students in the country, 35% of the 2,000 students, which is a wonderful thing to be able to boast. And there's a penalty now going the way of Trinity Bay.
Yeah, and Trinity Bay will take advantage of this. As you say, Drury, they're very proud of their diversity up there at that school. About 85% are non-English speaking. There's some guys from Africa, from the Himalayas as well. So really well done by Trinity Bay.
I've never asked you this, David, but are you bilingual?
I'm flat out with English.
So Trinity Bay here with their first real opportunity. It's with George Fayoud in jumper number 15, but he's playing 5'8" here today. And now Tower, just shy of the 10-metre line. Centre field, real chance here to strike back here for Trinity Bay. Here's Sabadi, only a metre away. Sippy, the hooker, outer side, back in field to Jet Bray as they keep it alive. Carapin got his hands in the way there for Lockyer District. And what's the referee going to rule here? It's going the way of Lockyer District. It'll be a knock-on.
Yeah, knock-on there by Trinity Bay. Just a little flick pass. They're the ones you don't want to be doing in a big final like this early in the match. You don't have to push those passes. They may be a miracle and it might come off, but the odds are against you. And that was a good chance for Trinity Bay to hit back. They tried an inside pass to get straight at the try line. I think it might have been Thompson. And then when he got hit by some good, that's got to be an offside play. The referee hasn't necessarily spotted it, but it'll be play on. They still get the ball back after the arm was knocked down of the halfback. Pretty hard to do if you're onside.
So that's now 0, or that was 0, and now Aiden, or rather Tristan Kerwick in field to play it. 10 out from their own line, Lockyer District. They lead 4-0 over Trinity Bay from Cairns.
As I said, Drury, they were here last year. Just got pipped by St. Augustine's right on the last, on the whistle. But there are 8 players backing up from last year in that Lockyer District side. And that could be a big advantage for them to get more than half your side back.
And what a great kick that is, forcing O'Brien back for Trinity Bay now. And he'll get tackled about 25 out centre field by Caden Buse, it was, the halfback in defence there. Now here's Ray Marama. Some solid defence here from Lockyer District, who lead 4 points to nil. Here's Etaru, Trinity Bay out of Cairns. Have got some notable alumni. David Xavier Coates, the Hammer, of course, playing for the Cowboys. And Justin Hodges, the great Gavin Allen, and Jeremiah Nanai.
Yeah, Jeremiah Nanai.
Who also went to Kerwin, mind you.
He did. And a penalty here going, that's taken in the air. So a penalty here going to Trinity Bay. Interesting, Drury, that young Vi Nanai, wearing 6 today, is the younger brother of Jeremiah Nanai. So, and of course, all the very best to Vi here today, but also to Jeremiah in a week's time. Preliminary final NRL. And that's what the opportunities exist these days. The guys can go from schoolboy footy pretty quickly through into the NRL. It's a huge step. But if you're good enough, tough enough, and resilient enough, you can make it with a bit of skill thrown in.
So that was Nanai actually finding touch there. And so they go forward here, Trinity Bay. Sabadi, that was, and now Tower.
Got a pretty big pack by the look of it, Trinity Bay. See if they can use them from here.
And just a knock on, back on the inside there. They went towards the middle, Trinity Bay, and that's 2 knock-ons now, with Trinity Bay attacking the try line.
He's got an offside there.
Of Lockyer District.
Yep, not only did they knock on, but then another player came to pick up the ball that was knocked forward in an offside position. So that's a double whammy there for Trinity Bay. Second time they've been within a metre of the line and they made an error. They try to crash play, but again, you don't have to put that pass right in the middle of the defensive line. Just give it to him a little bit back, secure the ball, then crash the line.
And the touch finder makes about 20 metres. So Lockyer District now, located in Gatton, Lockyer District. And the Lockyer Valley, well, it's well known for its rich farming history, especially fruits and vegetables. The Lockyer District, wonderful part of the world, Roddy.
Beautiful up there, mate, and obviously they've had some problems, as we have up in Queensland over time, with the floods as well. So our thoughts have always gone out there, and I see we're in for the third or the triple El Nino coming up, so more rain.
Over halfway now, Lockyer District again. Got a lot of fans here at the ground. Clayton Andrew with a big run, and they go through the hands by their captain, Mason Potter. And now the fullback, Cooper Liston, is through. And sorry, it's Buse rather, looking for a pass on the inside.
Offside again.
It will be a penalty to Lockyer District, though. Wonderful play there from Caden Buse, the halfback.
Yeah, beautiful work by Buse. Thompson it was who blocked the pass, and he knocked it forward, and then his own players coming back decided to take not taking a shot for a goal. A bit of confidence here by the Lockyer District side. Strong defence there by Bray.
So Jake Taylor, 10 out centre field here for Lockyer District. It was McDermott at dummy half. And here they go up the middle. This is Stephen Buse, looking for their second try. Buse, Potter through the hands. That was Liston. Cut out pass. He was looking for Robbie Jones. And just the execution off there at the very end, but asking serious questions to the Trinity Bay defence at the moment, Lockyer District.
Yeah, errors very, very costly. You've got to take your chances in big matches. And sure, the build-up to this was very good. I like the way they cleared it out the back through the hands of Cole and then out through Liston. And his long pass out to the wingman in Jones couldn't be held. It wasn't right in his lap. And another error. So both sides making errors close to the try line. So you've got to take your chances. And at times you just got to not push your passes. There'll be a time for that, but I don't think now is it.
Strong run here. Coming out of their own defensive 20, Trinity Bay. I think it was O'Brien. And here is Sabadi again. Paiwan Sabadi, the front rower for Trinity Bay. Now Casely over halfway. Good set here from Trinity Bay.
Yeah, good ground. Straight up the middle.
5 metres into Lockyer District territory here. And now here's Matteo Benioni, the number 22, who's on. He's a power runner, he is. So last tackle as they go high here, Trinity Bay out of Cairns. This will be a tough one for the fullback. It's come back here to Liam O'Brien. Now I think O'Brien's knocked on originally. Let's see what the referee rules here.
Was he going to rule a changeover?
I think it's a double knock on.
It's called the changeover, so it'll go back to... So he's actually ruled, I think, Drury, that he did catch that on the full, on the second grab, but it was the sixth tackle.
I think you'll find, David, that O'Brien knocked it on into Liston. It was a slight touch, and then Liston couldn't handle either. So double knock on. It will be the changeover. Lockyer District, and that was Ty Hauser, the winger. And now here's the try scorer, Shonatan Carapin. They lead 4-0 Lockyer District over Trinity Bay.
Terrific tackle there by Benioni.
From dummy half. And a penalty for Lockyer District on their own 40. It was McDermott earning the penalty. He can play numerous positions, Nash McDermott.
Yeah, high tackle that was. Not a big kick this one, but at least he's found touch as Busay. But the promising thing out of these two teams so far, Drew, they're both creating opportunities. They haven't only finished, well, Lockyer District only finished one of those, and here's another error. You can't afford to keep turning over possession to good sides. They're a far bigger side, I think, too, Trinity Bay, so they'll try and use that strength to, I guess, wear down, ultimately, Lockyer District. But both sides threatening at times. You've got to just go on with the job. Some strong defence too has caused a couple of errors, so I've been impressed in the defensive department and a couple of good breaks, especially by Lockyer District.
We've got plenty of action coming your way this afternoon throughout the day, so get settled. And you'll catch all the action right here on Community TV, Australia's home of live streaming. We've got this, the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy Final. We've got the Karen Murphy Cup later, the Queensland Schoolgirls Cup Final, and of course, the Australian National Schoolboy Championship, the National Schoolboy Cup Final, to be played between Ipswich and Patrician Brothers Fairfield. That one still to come. Plenty of action as we see another penalty to Lockyer District, only 15 metres out.
Yeah, stealing the ball in the tackle by Outer. They didn't take two before, so they've got to keep backing themselves. Let's see if they can get to the end of their 6 without pushing a risky pass.
Jamin Sloan, have a look at him. Oh, the ball's come loose. And they've forced the error at Trinity Bay. So both sides with some knock-ons in key attacking areas of the field.
Yeah, Sloan pleading with the ref to suggest it was stripped. But here I was asking to get to the end of the 6 at least. And instead we didn't get to 1. So these errors are accumulating. We've had quite a few. We're halfway through or thereabouts the first half. And too many errors by both sides. Probably more possession to Lockyer District, and they haven't been able to go on with the job.
So 4-0, Lockyer District over Trinity Bay. This the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy Final. And righty, just for, well, it's a turnover here. We'll come back to that. So Lockyer District with Caden Buse only 20 metres away. They've been gifted the football back. Mason Potter. This is Tristan Kerwick now inside the 10. About 6 or 7 metres in from touch. There's Robbie Jones in field to Potter. You can see how close to the try line they are here, Lockyer District, looking for their second. It's Mann, Chris Mann. So back towards the centre now. Buse through the hands, and that was Liston with a little shimmy out to Carapan, who keeps it alive. Back inside here to Stephen Buse. He's got eyes for the try line. Oh, they won't stop him. Stephen Buse powers his way over for Lockyer District.
Well done, Lockyer District. They controlled possession well on that occasion. Hit down that right-hand side. Stood in the tackle. It might have even been Caden Buse here, who stood in the tackle. And then brought it back ultimately to Stephen Buse. I'm pretty sure they're brothers. And they got the try that they have been threatening to get. But we've had a number of errors. Let's have another look at it. Yeah, there it is out through Stephen Buse. He also put it out there to Liston. They stand in the tackle, pop it through the hands of Carapan. Back there to the 14 in Stephen Buse. And he's the man who's got enough space to thread his way through. Goes in under the sticks, and they've been rewarded for not taking the easy 2 points that were on offer. Lockyer District have backed themselves. They have looked the more threatening and agile side. I'm not saying Trinity Bay, or as they like to, or the locals call them, TBay. TBay is they're very powerful side, believe them, big pack, so they can play to their strength and still score points. But at the moment, Lockyer District just had a bit too much possession. I think they've got better than 50% thus far and got their second try.
So Caden Buse will attempt to convert the try from Stephen Buse here. And directly in front, as you'd expect, makes no mistake. So Lockyer District now lead 10 points to 0 over Trinity Bay.
Yeah, they do clear it well out on that right-hand side. Through the hands. Initially, it was Buse who handled it to halfback, and they come back into the middle of the ruck, and Stephen Buse had enough space there to work between a few players. He didn't, at the end of the day, didn't go over the top directly. He saw a bit of work, and he was changing direction. He swerved through the gaps and had grasping defenders, and that gave him a pretty good passage to the try line.
So the kickoff from Vi Nanai, the younger brother of Jeremiah Nanai at Trinity Bay. And the hit up there from Cooper Scholl of Lockyer District. And now Jackson Cole, 35 out on play number 2 already for Lockyer District. Again, here he is, Cooper Scholl. So just asserting their authority on this match, and an early kick over the top from Lockyer District, and just a little knock on from Kerwick. He got first hands to it. He's knocked it on into O'Brien.
First knock on, I think they're calling here to Lockyer. He might, just as they both grab for the ball, I think he just got a touch. And the feed will go, fortunately, or when I say fortunately, they have the fortune here, or had good fortune. Let's have a look. Anytime you can put a little kick over the top and it lands on the ground, it is dangerous. And that kick was going to be, there was that little touch by the number 3 in Kerwick. And, well, they're breathing a sigh of relief there, the TBay boys.
So double knock on, and here's Ederu for Trinity Bay. Play number 1, 30 out. And penalty, and the penalty whistle just went before it was knocked on there from Sashin Hassan, who's just come onto the field. It will be a penalty, though, to Trinity Bay.
Right in the middle of the field, so you don't want to get too greedy with the touchline here. And he hasn't. He's done well to pick up about 20 metres, a bit inside that, but that's good. That's a good platform to go from. They've got some big men. Let's see how they use them initially. We're yet to see their backs in action, so let's see what they do to set the platform.
It's up there from one Casely to the other. Aiden to Noah. Casely now 35 out, 20 in from touch. Onto the field is Bosun in jumper number 14 for Trinity Bay. Watch for him out of dummy half, Trinity Bay, and they'd love to get their first points here. Asson it was with his hit up, and they got plenty of fresh legs on at the moment, Trinity Bay. Now it's Outer, and the ball stays alive. What about the pass there from Bosun? Out to the outer side here, Jackie Mills, who comes in field. He's taken only 10 metres away for Trinity Bay out of Cairns, and here's Benioni. Eyeing off that try line, Matteo Benioni. And unfortunately for him, he hasn't been able to play the football.
And that should be the easiest part. You've done the hard yards. You've some good build-up prior to that ruck play, but then the big crash play handled all the defence. That wasn't a problem to him. That's normally the toughest time to hang on to the footy. But then getting up to play it, that is not a time to lose possession. And it'll, well, another chance. I reckon they've cost themselves 3 chances to really have a go at the line with errors nearby.
Yeah, another error right when they were looking likely to score, Trinity Bay. So it's with Lockyer District again. That's Robbie Jones, and Lockyer District have a 10-point lead here in the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final. Live and exclusive to Community TV, Australia's home of live streaming here at Moreton Daly Stadium on the Redcliffe Peninsula. Drury Forbes alongside David Wright in the commentary box. And Lockyer District with a 10-point lead with just over 8 minutes remaining in this first half. Of course, 30-minute halves. Here's a run from McDermott from dummy half. He had bodies in motion just to keep the defence in 2 minds and allowed some extra yardage for McDermott. Wayward pass, Potter back on the inside, and they do get to their kick. Good pressure there from Aiden Casely from Trinity Bay as O'Brien brings it back, and he's tackled just beyond his own 40-metre line.
Yeah, it was Potter, no, it was Buse that thought he might have been tackled after he'd kicked it, but the ref was happy.
Ederu right on halfway. And now Nanai, the ball came loose. Strong tackle there from Lockyer District. They've forced another error. Well, at some point, David, you've got to acknowledge the defensive efforts from Lockyer District, because you don't just drop the footy cold all the time. There's a number of errors, and they've come up with some really good defence. Yeah,
they've done really well. They're not as big as the other, but there's another error. That's a loose carry.
And good defence that time from Trinity Bay. It was the number 3, Aiden Casely.
Yeah, so an error there by Lockyer District. So they're exchanging errors at the moment. 10 points to nil is probably a fair indication of the strong play of Lockyer District, but I wouldn't put it past TBay to get some points on the board here. They've been knocking on the door a few times. They've got to find the key.
The scrum will be fed here by the 15, George Fayud. A little early kick here for O'Brien, streaming through. Can he get the kind bounce? He did exceptionally well, O'Brien. Got the offload away to keep it alive. I thought he was going to put that on the boot then, David.
He should have gone left. He had 3 over. They've still got him there.
Here they go now, Trinity Bay. Nanai with the left foot step. Shrugs away from another, still going. Vai Nanai, what a play. Looking to mix it up and try something different, Trinity Bay, in their pursuit for points. And what a wonderful opportunity this is. O'Brien, and now Sabadi. McDermott around the legs. Can he hang on? He just does. Takes him bringing the ground, doesn't he, Sabadi? As we see now, Bosun, he was looking for the short pass. And again, the ball hits the deck.
With the emphasis on again, I think that's maybe 5 times they've been in sight of the goal line and put it on the deck. Again, trying the crash play. What a terrific kick that was for O'Brien from the base of the, to O'Brien from the base of the scrum. Here's the knock-on play. Never had control, even in the catch of the ball.
It's easy for us to say up here, of course, but with O'Brien's pace, I wouldn't have minded seeing him just tow it through again. I reckon he could have got there with a little kick again, but he still secured the football, mind you.
Yeah, I reckon he was betwixt and between, Drew, because the ball didn't bounce quite up to him, did he? But he decided he was going to try and get it. If it had been a bit lower, I reckon the kick was definitely on. I just like the adventure. Kick from the scrum, 60 metres out, nearly paid dividends. They had the chance on that break. There was a chance with a 3-man overlap to 0 defenders.
So Lockyer District leading 10-0 over Trinity Bay from Cairns. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half of the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final as they come towards the broadcast side here. Beautiful ball, and Kerwick, he was almost through. He had Jones on his outside. They did have the overlap there. Trinity Bay defence able to come across. Wrapped up there by Fayud, and there's the last little kick over the top there by Potter. It was the skipper. And both sides showing some flamboyance with the football.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
great to see.
Yeah, my word. Brilliant backline play there by Lockyer District. They've got some very tidy backs, and they've got the ability to clear it out into that area as well.
They keep it alive here. It was originally Marama taking it up, and he's going to come again here, Adam Ray Marama. 33 out from their own line, Trinity Bay. They'd love some points before the break. 3 minutes and 3/4 remaining, and they're starting to show a little bit more promise, particularly with this man, Liam O'Brien.
Guess what?
Although, yes, now the penalty comes, and I reckon that's the right call too. I thought there was a little hand in there, but Liam O'Brien, he's just starting to inject himself in this game, and it's having positive results for Trinity Bay.
Yeah, he's a danger player, and a penalty there will give him a great chance. What an important 3 minutes up to half-time.
So Noah Casely. So they'll get a shot at this try line towards the back end of the set, Trinity Bay. Only 35 out, play number 1.
They've got the big men stacked left side, right in the middle of the field. A lot of big guys. Let's see how many dummy runners they got and how many outside plays they're going to put on. All stacked left.
Paiwan Sabadi, 20 metres out. And here is Alder, Devontae Alder. He's inside the 10 with a huge run. Now Bosun. To the outer side, chance here, Nanai draws and passes O'Brien, here he is! Liam O'Brien is over, and Trinity Bay hit back. 10 points to 4, kick to come for the Cairns side, Trinity Bay.
What a good try that was. They took that big crashing run originally by the big fellow in Alder, and then they set it. This is an absolute set play back into the back line. A couple of dummy runners, and then it was O'Brien who looped around. They created an extra man. Let's have another look at it. Out through the hand. There's the looping action by Fayud, and then O'Brien decided, well, I'm that close now. I'm not going to chance it. He could have popped it on the outside, but that was a really well-constructed try. And TBay, who've been frustrated by getting so close to that try line right through this first half, have got a just reward then. Well done to get it on the outside. And a couple of dummy runners. And then that looping play was a really good one. I think it was Fayud who then gave it out to O'Brien.
So here's Vi Nanai with the conversion. Younger brother of Jeremiah Nanai. He'll attempt this one a few metres in from touch. And I'm sure Coach Dan Weston would just be over the moon to get some points heading into the break as Nanai looked pretty accurate. He's got it. I was thinking, will it have the distance? But it's crept over. Always had the accuracy as Nanai converts. And Lockyer District's lead cut back to 4. 10 points to 6 with just over a minute remaining in the first half.
Yeah, got a penalty off that stealing of the ball back on the halfway line, and then they did really well to go on with the job. I was very impressed. No hurry here by Lockyer District to restart, although they ultimately will have to. Seconds ticking away. Well done there by Trinity Bay to fight back. They haven't, whoops, that'll waste a bit more time. 30 seconds to go up to half time.
So Trinity Bay most likely have the final say in this opening half. Oh, will they? Knock back, a little bit of a juggle though there, but all is well that ends well for Fayoud. He'll take the hit up himself. Playing 5'8" today and jumper number 15, wrapped up just short of his own 20. Final 10 seconds here. So perhaps time for one, maybe two more plays. And that's Tower, the big front rower. So last play here of the half. What are they going to do here is look at Nanai. He just puts it high. And a real tricky one for the Lockyer District fullback. And it was a little knock on, and that will see us out to the half, or will it? Yes, it will. There's half time there. So Lockyer District leading Trinity Bay 10 points to 6 at half time. They scored the opening 2 tries, Lockyer District. It was Carapan with the opener, and also Stephen Buse scoring under the posts. 1 from 2 with the boot for Caden Buse. And for Trinity Bay, the try scorer Liam O'Brien there just before half time. Nanai with the conversion. 10 points to 6 at half time. Lockyer District over Trinity Bay.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good result there for Trinity Bay to fight back in the dying minutes of the first half. Lockyer District had those couple of tries up their sleeve, but well done by Trinity Bay. They've been knocking on the door so often, just weren't able to get the points on the board or the tries. And then in the dying minutes of the first half, they do so well through O'Brien and a good set piece to bring it back to 10 points to 6.
All right, so 10 points to 6 here at half time. Let's take a look at the first half highlights, David Wright. 10 points to 6, Lockyer District lead.
Yeah, they did well, Lockyer District, to get off to a good start. They put Carapan in the right-hand side, the big centre. He does well to bust straight through there. They have shown they're very good in their backline movements. Nice work there by Liston to pop it up then to Carapan. He broke the tackle. This is the second try when Steve Busset comes back on the inside. Again, going initially to that right-hand side. And that got them to 10 points to 0. And then with the dying minutes of the first half, nice little rat play then on the outside there, Nanai, and he fires it up to O'Brien, who, as Drewy said, has been dangerous on a couple of occasions. So they're showing enough spark in that back line that if they can get their share of ball, they'll be dangerous in the second half.
Well, it sets us up nicely, doesn't it? 10 points to 6. Lockyer District leading Trinity Bay at half time. I'm going to take a short break. We'll be back with all the second half action shortly. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back. It is a big day here at Moreton Daily Stadium today. It is the creme de la creme of Schoolboys Rugby League, the Australian Championships. We're back. We had a couple of years off because of COVID, didn't we, Righty? But we're back today as we count down and build towards the big one later this afternoon. It's Ipswich State High School taking on Patrician Brothers Fairfield. And for now, it's half-time in the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final. Lockyer District leading Trinity Bay 10 points to 6. Drury Forbes alongside David Wright in the commentary box here on Community TV, Australia's home of live streaming. And Righty, isn't it great to have this day back on the rugby league calendar? Mate,
it sure is, and well done by the NRL and also the Queensland State Schools Rugby League for putting all this together. They do it in a partnership arrangement, so well done. The pathways these days are terrific for these young kids. As I said at the opener, this particular competition, the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy, is the second tier, but it's some of the best schools in Queensland that aren't in that elite academy, rugby league academy category, like Ipswich and Palm Beach, Currumbin and Wavell and Kerwin and the like. So these guys, they started out, there were 73 teams started this comp. So if you come down to the last two after 73, that's a fantastic effort by these two sides. Trinity Bay from up in Cairns, Lockyer District from out at Gatton, and here's a terrific chance to be crowned the best schoolboy team in Queensland in that participation category.
That's a really good point you make. Excuse me. It's a very good point you make, David. 73 teams in total, and now we're down to 2. So what an effort from both these schools, both Lockyer District and Trinity Bay out of Cairns.
Yeah, it sure is. And interesting that Lockyer District are a little bit slow out of the blocks here. This doesn't normally happen by coincidence.
Bit of gamesmanship, you think?
I think it is. And I think the coach in Matt Schultz, whilst he would have been happy with 28 minutes of the game, albeit realising that there was a lot of chances that Trinity Bay had when they dropped the ball, never with the line open, but they were losing a lot of ball close to the try line. And I'd say he is giving them a deluxe bake at the moment in a constructive way, don't get me wrong, to get out there. This, as I say, they just got pipped last year by St Augustine's, and they got a try scored on them right on the hooter after they'd led pretty comfortably. They're desperate to win here today.
Well, here they are, Lockyer District, back onto the park. All good things come to those who wait. Second half imminent.
I've been waiting a long time though, Drew. How long have you got to wait for those good things? Let's see what they do. They've got to wait 30 more minutes.
You still managed one test for Australia, Righty?
Yeah, well, that's one more than a lot of other people do, so you're right there, mate. Great days. And I played, obviously, schoolboy footy for Wavell. You never forget your finals. We played one there. You never forget it, and they won't today.
So Caden Buse to get the second half going. And they lead by the 4 points. And here's Trinity Bay with Bosun. Gawea Bosun, the number 14. He came off the bench, but he's really had an impact since he's come on the field for Trinity Bay. Here's Tower. 35 away as Bosun slots into that dummy half roll. Big run there. Was a jet break. Great run from the lock forward. Ooh. Although they've played the ball, left a lot to be desired. And he undone all the good work there because it was an outstanding run.
Yeah, tried to get up too quickly to play it. Almost fell forward as he tried to. And Bray undoing all that good work. We saw that on a couple of occasions in the first half. Trinity Bay just need to get their act into gear. And by that, I mean there's plenty of promising footy, but it's punctuated by far too many errors.
Yeah, we've seen a few errors, haven't we?
Too many.
And the conditions, well, they couldn't get any better, could they? It's a beautiful day in the peninsula.
Absolutely pristine. Look at the ground. It looks like artificial grass, but it's not.
Well, some have always thought that it's been artificial grass here at Redcliffe. It really is a glorious day here on the peninsula. Of course, this is the home of the Redcliffe Dolphins. They'll be in the NRL in 2023, and they're deep into their Host Plus Cup season this year. It's Lockyer District now looking for their third try. There's Tristan Kerwick And here they go through Caden Buse and Liston. He might go himself here as he reaches out.
Obstruction. He's got an obstruction in the backfield.
Great defence, though, from O'Brien. Nonetheless, fullback on fullback.
Yeah, they've been pretty creative, have Lockyer District on a number of occasions. Their strength is no doubt their very talented back line. And when I say that, all of them are very creative in what they do. And, well, they've been allowed off the hook there, Trinity Bay. As they came around to run that last play, Lockyer District, there was an obstruction on a defender. Let's see if Trinity Bay can get it out of their own territory and get to at least a kick downfield. I don't know they've done too many of those to get out of their own territory in this whole match. Let's see what they can do.
Well, we've started this set well, straight up the guts with some big carries. And now they're almost on halfway. It was Tower with the run prior. And this time,
penalty.
They're going to get a penalty here, Trinity Bay. And there's Nanai with the football.
Yeah, inside the 10 metres, this is a terrific bounce up the field. And just finds touch. Well, that could have been a disaster if they didn't. They're pretty good at scoring from close range.
As a former front rower, David, what do you think of the two big fellas for Trinity Bay, Sabadi and Tower? They've taken some stopping, haven't they?
They sure have, and they're very dangerous every time they run. Let's see if they use that too much. Now they're so close to the line. Their fullback is also very dangerous, O'Brien. Here we go. Run out of dummy half.
Yes, and here is Bosun. We spoke about him. He'll take his chances when he thinks it's on. Only a few metres away here. Fayoud gets it out here to Nanai. Sweeping pass out to the winger, Jackie Mills. And Mills is wrapped up. O'Brien back in field now. It's back to Vine Nanai. He's got the 6 on his back, but he's playing half-back. Offload away to the captain, Kieran Thompson, and Lockyer District have come away with it before they snatched it back through Fayoud, Trinity Bay. So 6 more as well, just to make matters worse for Lockyer District. And now it's Paiwan Sabadi. Little shimmy from Bosun. O'Brien's going to get his second. Liam O'Brien. Well, this game has come alive since he has started to assert his dominance, and the fullback has a double, and Trinity Bay have level proceedings here at Moreton Daly Stadium.
Lockyer District will be in damage control as O'Brien gets across beautifully. A little bit of a gap, wasn't much for him, but he used a little bit of dummy, straightened up. The defence didn't close out. Liston wasn't strong enough to make the tackle on his opposite number, and O'Brien, a double, quite different from his first try. But he has been the danger man in that back line. He can go it with his opponents. That's the big difference. They're very good in the back line, Lockyer District. They've got some good evasion, but O'Brien can match it with them. He gets his second.
The crowd's starting to get into this game more and more here at Moreton Daly Stadium. 10-all. And Nanai will line this conversion up with a chance for Trinity Bay to take the lead for the first time today. So Vai Nanai now, about 11 metres in from touch. He's taken this back 21 metres to give Trinity Bay the lead. And he's just pushed it across the face. So 10-all the score. Just over 24 minutes remaining. We're all tied up here between Lockyer District and Trinity Bay. You're watching the final of the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy right here on Community TV, Australia's home of live streaming.
Yeah, it just shows you what Trinity Bay can do if they get some possession. They got a 6-to-go call, which gave them around about 10 tackles to set up for that try. Up until now, they've been knocking on far too often. They're well and truly in this match.
Oh, boy. Almost a disaster there for Trinity Bay. Righty, I know players are looking into the sun, but I'm of the belief you've got to back yourself. You've got to try and catch the football. Yeah,
if you can get it on the full, that's the key. And once it bounces, it's going to be awkward. Ultimately, they did very well to keep it in the field of play. It would otherwise been a turnover. You can get to your set of 6, boys, and then you can build some pressure just like you did for the try.
Jet Bray for Trinity Bay, 28 out from his own line, and on now with the football. Asson. And there's a little step here, and he beats a couple from Bosun up to halfway.
That's cheeky.
He's got all the tricks in the book, Gawea Bosun, and now Nanai goes high. He's looking here for Jackie Mills, but it's out on the full. A little bit too much on that kick from Nanai.
Yeah, absolutely no reason to go that close to the touchline with that high ball. And that just totally turns the game. And you only have to come down a metre in the field of play, and there, you really don't need to be that close to the touchline anyway. So Nanai will regret that. I don't think he was under a lot of pressure either. A chance here for Lockyer District to get back doing what they like, and that's to attack.
So Lockyer District, Jackson Cole. So just the 10-all on the scoreboard, David, but gee whiz, they've committed a lot of turnovers either way, Trinity Bay, haven't they?
Yeah, they've sacrificed possession. They've done well, actually, Drew, to get back and grab 2 tries, both from their fullback, O'Brien. He's their real danger man out wide. Big pack and a very dangerous fullback.
So McDermott sends it towards the short side here to Aidan Casely, and he'll do well to stay in play here. Referee calls held. So 25 metres out from the Trinity Bay try line here, Lockyer District, as now they go through the hands, and Cooper Liston able to beat the first tackle attempt, but not the second one. Last play here. Back on the inside, Trinity Bay, and that was Potter it was, but well read by O'Brien, the fullback.
Everything rushed in, and that's why Potter, when he had to rush in and do his kick, it went straight to the fullback, and that diffused everything. They could have had a real good attack play there, good attack kick.
So 10-all the score, and here he is again, Bosun. He reminds me a little bit of Gabriel Satrick, who we're going to see in the big game later. He comes off the bench and can really make an impact from dummy half.
Yeah,
who plays for Ipswich, of course. Satrick, yeah, who's an Australian schoolboy. Yeah,
if you've got any time, 3:30 this afternoon, that will be one great game of footy.
So Nanai goes high, and this is a tough one here for Liston. He'll do well to get out of his in goal, and they get him, Trinity Bay. So a wonderful kick there from Vi Nanai, and unable to catch that one on the full Cooper Liston, and ultimately he pays the price.
Yeah, great work by Trinity Bay. They've got another reset of the 6, and they showed before they could score from a bit of extra pressure. The high kick was a very awkward one for Liston, and it bounced unfavourably for him. They're taking their time, Lockyer District. They know this juggernaut, the big boys, are going to come at them initially.
So line drop out. Off the side of the boot, 30 on the fly, as Nanai watches it, and it bounces its way here to Etaru, and not another error, surely not.
Yeah, well, again, Drew, we were talking just before that, you don't let those kicks bounce, and once the ball bounced, it put Etaru under a bit of pressure to get a hold of it, and he never really got control. And boy, that's Lockyer District, they're off the hook there. 10-all scoreline.
Again, it's easier up here in the commentary box, but I don't know about you, but I'd rather make an error knowing I gave it a go.
Yes, mate, exactly. Get in there and try and get it. It was a bit tricky, the kick, but once that footy bounces, it can go anywhere.
It certainly can. We've seen that time and time again. Robbie Jones here, driven back. Lockyer District with possession, 10-all the score. 19.5 minutes to play here at Moreton Daly Stadium. And what about the shot there from Jet Bray? All over Kane Jackson, as Jackson's put on his back. 30 away here, Lockyer District. Got to his feet though, Jackson.
Well, can Lockyer District go with them here? Trinity Bay are really up the ante.
That was Carapin, and here is Clayton Andrew. He's a crowd favourite today, Clayton Andrew. Plenty of cheering when he has the football. And that kick just short of halfway here, Lockyer District, and perhaps just looking to settle down proceedings. A fine touch, 10 points all the score as we see O'Brien retrieve the footy. It'll be a scrum feed to Trinity Bay.
Yeah, they'll take that to get it up the other end inside the 20, and Trinity Bay to bring it out of their own territory. But you go back, I mean, a goal line dropout, and for the side then not to get a 6-tackle set to attack with, they surrendered it straight up. That's very costly. Let's see how they work out of the hard yards. Pretty well, I'd say. They're good in the middle, these boys.
Barnstorming run from Matteo Benioni. Almost made 15 metres with that carry. And they're giving it to their big boppers early here. Jet Bray starting to make an impact as well. They've got a little bit of momentum here, Trinity Bay. They've levelled at 10-all, and here's Bosun again, looking lively from dummy half. Has fed the ball now is Auda, Devonte Auda, only 40 metres out from the Lockyer District try line. 17 minutes, 3/4 remaining. Vainanai again, a high spiralling kick. And again, the ball finds the turf. And an awkward bounce, but he did well, Cooper Liston, who is a strong kick returner. And certainly has been in outstanding form at the back for Lockyer District throughout this tournament.
They needed that lucky bounce then as it went straight to Liston. But it was a good kick, though. Spiralling bomb went that high, but it was wobbling and was always going to be difficult for, I think, Jones to come in to get it.
Yeah, indeed. They've all been tricky, the way Nanai's kicking it. So last tackle here, 5 short of halfway for Lockyer District. And that kick off the side of the boot. And will allow an easy take there to Jackie Mills. And Mills beats the first attempted tackle from Stephen Buse and then driven to the turf. It's going to be a penalty to Trinity Bay.
Ooh, I thought that might have been a bit of a tough call, that. It's classed as being raked out. The skipper, Potter, querying it. I thought it was just in the tackle. And this is a really good chance for Trinity Bay. They've never been in front. They were down 10-0. With a minute up to half time. Can they get their noses in front?
Well, they've made a lot of errors, David, but I think one area they've just got the better of Lockyer District thus far is the kicking game. Yeah,
they've been in a bit of trouble a few times, letting kicks land and taking these big men too. They're playing to their strengths, TBay.
And Benioni, get out of my way, he says. Here's Pio and Sabadi, 20 metres away. They've got some big forwards. Starting hooker Sippy back on for Trinity Bay. And that's Bosun, so it looks like a bit of a positional change with Bosun not at dummy half anymore. Cut out pass from O'Brien, it was a pearler, and he finds Aidan Casely, who's over. And Trinity Bay hit the front for the first time.
Great work there by Trinity Bay. O'Brien's scored the first 2 tries, and he shows here what a good pair of hands he's got, what a good all-round fullback he is. Not only can he run the footy, but these days, obviously, you've got to be able to ball handle and set up. And this pass was split second. He fired it, and it went straight to Casley. He didn't have to reach out and look, he was just on the burst. That is a really neat try. And O'Brien showing his class. 2 very good tries in the either side of half-time by O'Brien, and then he sets in the current lingo a try assist. And the Trinity Bay boys are pleading for the crowd to do a bit of cheering. We'll have some cheering this afternoon as this crowd builds. It will be a bumper crowd, I think, for the big one at 3:30. And then before that, Drury, we've got the Queensland Schoolgirls Cup match, and that'll be a beauty as well.
Indeed, it will. Marsden taking on Kerwin in that one. That should be an absolute ripper. That's the first ever season, the inaugural season of the Queensland Schoolgirls Cup final.
Yep, 13 aside. They've been playing a 9-a-side Karen Murphy Trophy comp. This is the first time they've come into 13 aside.
Yeah, that'll be a great game, Righty. Years 11 and 12 in that competition. Here's Nanai from the sideline. I think he's hooked it across the face. No, he's got it. It's snuck in. And another brilliant kick from Nanai. Nanai with the conversion, and Trinity Bay State High School out of Cairns leading Lockyer District 16 points to 10.
Gee, that's good effort there by O'Brien. Not only just pass it, he actually went at the line initially, knew exactly what he was going to try and do, especially as he didn't have the gap totally in front of him. That is a classy passing try by O'Brien. Will this spark Lockyer District? They can play footy, but they've just they've been allowed to be dominated here by the bigger men. They have got to stand their ground and get a bit of attack ball themselves. And
their backs also doing the job, Righty. The foundation laid by the big forwards of Trinity Bay, and It's been all their tries scored by the outside back, so they've done really well from 1 to 17, Trinity Bay, or I should say 1 to 22, looking at the team sheet.
Well, the beauty is, Drew, you've got to play to your strengths, and that's what they've done. They've got those big forwards that they've used at 100 mile an hour. What's it do? It sets a platform for the speedmen to do their thing. But it ain't over yet. I think Lockyer District have got some points in them. They haven't had a lot of ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, still 12 3/4 minutes remaining, so plenty of time for Lockyer District. There's only one try in it, so on halfway they play it here, Trinity Bay. And Vai-Nanai, good line speed there by Chris Mann to put some pressure. He had to just do a little jink. And what about the chase there from Trinity Bay, Benioni? But Cooper Liston up to the task, did exceptionally well.
He did terrifically well, Liston. That was a very tough kick, even in the air, but then he had to contend with the contest of a couple of guys coming at him. Well done, Liston, to give his side a chance. Can't drag.
Played there by Tristan Kerwick. Now, Lockyer District, as we mentioned, plenty of time. And there's the opening try scorer, Carapin. And let's see what they can conjure up here, Lockyer District. If they can get back into the grind, the battle, and they'll get a penalty here. This will help.
This will help up in tackle, but it shows you the domination. Look how big the TBay boys are. They are dominant there, and if I'm Lockyer District, I'd take a couple of little sneaky runs to steal a bit of territory and then get it into your back line, boys. You've also got to play to your strength, and trying to take on the big men in the middle when they're shoulder to shoulder is not a good idea.
So Chris Mann, Lockyer District, 35 metres out. And the hooker here in Jake Taylor. There's Nash McDermott, the dummy half. Interesting to see if Taylor goes into that traditional hooker role. No, it's still going to be McDermott. Have a look at this, 12 metres away, centre field. Lockyer District, real chance here. Here's Taylor, who has a run himself.
He shouldn't have. He had opportunities on the outside.
Trinity Bay getting numbers across. They come back towards this near side. Dummy, double pump, and Sharapin's over. Jonathan Carapin with the try. And Lockyer District, don't go anywhere, folks. They are right back in this contest.
They sure are. Well done. About 2 or 3 rucks initially hit the left-hand side. I think they could have scored over there. And then Carapin comes in with a double off a beautiful pass that was held up nicely again. Both these tries have come from the inside man, just holding up the ball. It wasn't given straight away. A couple of dummy run on the inside. Another runner, a little bit of a dummy initially. I think it was it Buze who threw the couple of dummies. I think it was. He did well, and he's now about to try and convert Caden Buze. I like the way he allowed the defence to make a few decisions, and he just stripped them. And well done there to give Carapin his second. And can we get it? Well, you'd think it's going to be a tied-up ball game.
And it is a tied-up ball game. Conversion successful. 16 all, under 10 minutes to play as Lockyer District level proceedings. They had the lead. They led 10-0. And Trinity Bay out to a 16-10 lead, and now we're back tied up at 16 apiece.
Well done there by Lockyer District to hit back. They got their chance, and well, they took it. 16 all. What a finish we've got here. 10 minutes, about 9 minutes to go for the Queensland champs.
O'Brien with the kickoff duties. Footed by Liston, and here they come, Lockyer District. It's a barnstorming Clayton Andrew bullocking run. Again, plenty of applause when he has the football. He's got plenty of support in the stands, Clayton Andrew.
Big support here from Lockyer District. Obviously, less distance to travel from compared with the Cairn boys from Trinity Bay. You can hear the crowd getting more and more vocal.
I suspect Jake Taylor's playing as a loose forward righty since coming on. McDermott still playing hooker and jumper number 13.
Well, they do that a lot these days. The 9 stays on as a running player.
So there's Caden Buse, who goes really high, but O'Brien, to his credit, he tracked it down and took it cleanly. 25 out from his own line, 20 in from touch. O'Brien, Trinity Bay with possession. 16 all the score.
Oh. Well, that wasn't. It's going to be an upending tackle. I didn't see he was past the horizontal. He certainly thumped him into the ground, and there's very little latitude allowed with schoolboy footy. The ref blasting the whistle to just call time off for a moment. Does he want to talk to the skipper? Let's talk to both skippers. The referee Fletcher Shearman.
We don't need that. I know tension's getting up and everything. Just drop it down a notch, play safe. Don't want anyone sitting down, bro. Copy? Perfect. Okay,
it's good refereeing. Drop it down a notch and play safe. It's fair enough. You're going for a big title here at 16 all. We might end up at Golden Point, Drury. I hope you got the rule book there.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?
I don't think 16 all will be the final score. There's a lot of points left in both sides.
So they'll start here 40 away or 41 metres away here, Trinity Bay. There's Ederu. Centre field here. And that was Devontae Alder. 30 metres out. Oh, a little bit of a juggle. They've knocked it on, Trinity Bay. They've knocked it. I think it was Sasha. In fact, no, it's Jet Bray, who's been one of their best. And perhaps the pass is a little behind him. So a let off there for Lockyer District.
Yeah, wasn't a perfect pass, but they almost hold a record for the most number of knock-ons in 50 minutes of footy. And I don't want to be too tough on them there, but there's been far too many. You're going to get a few in a high-pressure situation, but you've got to hold the footy.
So Lockyer District through Kerwick. Wrapped up there by Chris Sippy from Trinity Bay and a few others, and Taylor again here, jumper number 9, just shy of the 40-metre line. Lockyer District coming up with that try, second to Shonnerton Carapan. We're all tied up here, 8 minutes to play. McDermott and Buse had a look, decided to go himself just into Trinity Bay territory here. Lockyer District. There's McDermott now to Andrew.
Good marker defence there by Sippy. Attacked him.
Last tackle. The skipper, Mason Potter. And nice little kick allowing his chasers to come through, but it was read best by Ray Marama. It was almost away then, Marama.
Sure was. That was a fantastic tackle there by Jones on that left wing. Otherwise, Marama could have run 70 metres.
As the seconds tick down, the next score becomes even more so important. As we see an early kick again from Trinity Bay, and a tricky bounce again for Liston. But Liston's all of a sudden away. Cooper Liston. Oh, what about the tackle there from the big fella, Matteo Benioni?
That's the tackle of the match. Penalty here going to Lockyer District.
He got a horrible bounce the first one, Liston, but then he got a kind bounce the second one.
And just snatched at it and got away, and then to be tackled. Who was it? Did you say Benioni? That was amazing to get Liston at full pace in space.
So Lockyer District just enjoying a little bit of a momentum swing at the moment here in the last 5 minutes or so. We saw that error at the other end of the field just when Trinity Bay were looking likely, and now it's Lockyer District's turn. 21 metres out here, looking to regain the lead. Buse, and that Carapan coming through. 15 metres out. McDermott's got Andrew to his left. He goes to Taylor, and Andrew on his outside, so they're happy to take the yardage here at the moment. Numbers to the left, they go to the right. And the short ball there, Stephen Buse, he's already scored a try. Last play, this one. They come towards their halfback. Buse will kick him behind. Carapan was there, but so was O'Brien. But they've forced the line dropout, Lockyer District.
Yeah, good pressure play. We don't often see the young kids go for the in-goal area and force the dropout. They've done really well there. Buse, lovely little grubber kick, slide angle. Made sure it didn't go dead. And they've got to do it all over again. And Trinity Bay, their strong suit is not necessarily their tackling, or their defence, should I say. Let's see what happens here.
Nanai with another tricky kick, and here's Clayton Andrew as the crowd comes alive again. Andrew runs straight at Jet Bray. Well, these are the games that dreams are made of. The Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final with under 3 minutes remaining. 16 all and Lockyer District on the attack. Potter out the back to Liston. Liston changes the angle, comes back in field.
Juggle cost him.
Cooper Liston tackled a metre away. Mason Potter, their skipper, their organiser, their leader, finds his halves partner in Caden Buse, who finds Stephen Buse 10 metres away. McDermott went one way and changed his mind. Little kick from Buse, but Trinity Bay were ready and pounced on it. And well done there, Trinity Bay. I think it was Noah Casely coming away with it.
Yeah, I said Trinity Bay, their strong suit wasn't defence. Well, I'll take it back. That was terrific, that set of 6. They threw everything at them, Lockyer, and they got to keep the ball alive. Second face plays dangerous, and this guy can run the footy. Bosun.
Yeah, Aldo with the offload away to Bosun, and it was actually the captain, Thompson, who had that trap on their own try line, so well done to Thompson.
They've got a man down, Lockyer District, with a cramp, and another man. They've got 2 men down, so it's 11-man defensive line. They need this ball. No! They didn't need that. Liston finally put one on the deck after some great recoveries, and he realises how important that is. 2 players from Lockyer District, one limping off and the other one can't limp at all. He's got a cramp. The ref, is he going to stop the, well, he's got to stop the game. The blue shirt is on there helping with the, and he's the top certificate.
He's just going to stop the game now, David. He's had a glance over. There's 2 players in back play not moving for Lockyer District, and I know Cooper Liston made a meal of that one, but in terms of the 2 players needing attention, it probably wasn't the worst thing for them.
Well, if they'd had the ball, it would have been okay if he'd have got it, but it was a tricky one again. But you've got to stop play when you've got 2 players down. Actually, one of them was walking off, and I think they decided, well, look, if we walk off, that won't bring the attention to the ref, so they dropped to ground on the far side. So the ref had no alternative.
Well, it looks like a hospital ward out there at the moment on the field, David.
It does. And
obviously a big play there. Liston gifting an opportunity to Trinity Bay with under a minute remaining, and they'll get the scrum feed. So huge moment in the game. Do they think about field goal?
Well, you could, but I think these guys are about running it over the try line. But definitely in a position to take the field goal. And it's interesting, Drury, when we have a look at these trainers, it always interested me about all these coloured shirts and what does it all mean for the trainers. And we've got trainers attending both injured players now in the backfield. The blue shirt, he is your level 1 sports trainer. He's the real top guy, looks after safety, can really handle things. If you've got an orange shirt, you're level 2. So he's got a level 2 on one leg and a level 1 on the other leg for the guy getting the cramp looked after.
Well, where's the blue shirt over on the other fella?
No, well,
he might need a level 1 dude as well.
But let's hope he's got a blue one over there, has he? No. So the orange is the orange is the level 2, yes. So the level 2 over the far side. He's got the top man with him. And interesting enough, the yellow, he's the water boy. He's the water boy. And the green is a league first aid qualified. So all these guys are qualified, particularly the yellow the yellow shirt. Interesting if we could get just a bit of a look at these shirts. It's quite to see these guys down on the deck there now and getting attention. But they're all super qualified, Drew. That's a really good thing. They make sure these days that we have the top support staff And that's been
A little bit of pleasantries here at the scrum, David, with the game on the line. A minute to go in a grand final. You'd think it would be the last moment they get out the picnic rug and put the kettle on for a chat.
Well, there won't be any pleasantries when that whistle blows, Drury. I'll tell you, they'll be at it. And these guys, what is there, 1 minute? That's 6 tackles. Let's hope they've got some fresh here. They've got a couple of guys coming on here. So they're going to have 13 players. And there's no more important 1 minute in their careers to date.
And I suppose this stoppage, what it has allowed is for both sides to really communicate in terms of what they want to do from this restart.
Yeah, freshen up the defence.
Especially Trinity Bay, they would have had a good chance to have a chat whether they want to set up for a field goal or perhaps even a set play.
Yeah, take a couple first, the field goal can come later.
So here we go, the final minute of the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final. They go straight to the short side, Trinity Bay, with Aiden Casely. Full set of 6. We'll keep an eye on that clock. They're only 22 metres out at the moment.
Tackle like your life depends on it, because it does. The game depends on it.
George Fayoud, that was, and here's Paywan Sabadi. 10 metres away. Nanai. The ball goes on to the captain, Thompson. Chance here, Benioni. He's going to run out of room. Yes, he's gone into touch just as he got the ball on the inside.
Some of them think they've scored it. They haven't seen and looked back to the touch judge. The players were celebrating. Good call, Drury. You picked it in one. Just put his foot on that touch line. They thought they were home and hosed. Well, we're going to go to Golden Point, you would think.
No thought of field goal at all there, David.
Not at all, mate. They were going for the corner and went within a coat of paint. Well, it ain't over yet.
And that is full time of regular time. 16 all the score. They can't be separated. Both Lockyer District and Trinity Bay. After 60 minutes, we will go to extra time, Golden Point. And it's my understanding, David, it'll be 5 metres each.
5 minutes?
5 minutes, rather, each side. Until a point is scored, and then at the conclusion of that period, it's continuous until we get the first points.
Okay, so let's see what happens. So it is Golden Point. The first scorer will win in that period of time. We'll stop the clock. Let's have a look at both sides. Now, a few instructions. The other important thing here is plenty of support coming here, and they're always vocal. It's always a great afternoon. Wait till we get the big boys and for that matter, the girls playing next. The crowd will swell this afternoon. But these guys, this is the most important thing for them. They're getting a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a drink, but most importantly, the coaches would be allowed out there to give them some final instructions. Normally when you win the toss, you elect to receive. Because it's a 5-minute period, most sides like to receive. In other words, they select that they'll receive. And because you should get 3 uses of it in 5 minutes, the first, the third and the 5th minute in theory. So it does increase your chance of possession in that first 5. But at the end of the day, it's how you play it. And no errors. If you make an error now in this period of play, you can play the ultimate price. What a game we've had. 10-0 Lockyer District led up until the 29th minute, 1 minute before half time. O'Brien snuck over in the corner off a very good build-up from Nanai. And then O'Brien got a second one in the early minutes of the second half. Got it back to 10 all. And then we went 16-10 in favour of Trinity Bay. And in the 50th minute, Lockyer District hit back with a really good try back. Carapin, he got a double. So O'Brien's a double, Carapin's a double, Casely one, and Boo's one. So it's all tied up.
So here we go, the first period of extra time. Lockyer District to kick to Trinity Bay, and well taken there by Trinity Bay. And 25 metres out from their own line. As we mentioned, it's our understanding we'll play 5 minutes each way. Now, if that changes, we will let you know, of course, but that's our understanding for now. So Jet Bray, number 13, he's been one of their best for Trinity Bay. Another strong run from him, just 5 short of halfway. Nanai now on the inside. Benioni almost had the winning try assist. There was only a blade of grass in that. And now Nanai, another spiralling test for Liston here. Liston did well, but great chase from his opposing number, O'Brien. And they'll play this 12 out from their own line, Lockyer District.
Yeah, good set of 6 there by Trinity Bay to get it to that point. High kick contested, but well done by Liston. He's would have been thinking about the last one he put on the deck. Whoa!
Oh, big shot there.
Knocked on too.
On Jonathan Carapin from George Fayud.
And he's knocked it on.
Could that be the play that wins them the Queensland Schoolboy Trophy Grand Final?
Well, it certainly gives the upper hand to Trinity Bay. You don't get a better position to attack from. 26 metres out, midfield. Interesting to see how they stack their back lines. The NRL sides like to hold the ball for a second or so at the back of the scrum to allow some attack positions to be set up. There's a bit of a powwow going on with the number 6 there in Nanai and a couple of his back teammates to say, this is what we're going to do, fellas. And I like the look of that. Nanai, brother of Jeremiah Nanai, the number 6, calling shots. Left-hand side. Here he is. That's Nanai. See what he's got on.
So Vai Nanai now, early ball out to Etaru. And we saw last time, just before the end of regulation, no thoughts of the field goal. Be interesting to see if they're thinking field goal now, Trinity Bay. Sabadi still going almost to strip there, one-on-one from Mason Potter. In fact, he has stripped it like a thief in the night. Mason Potter, the captain, comes up with an inspirational play to keep Lockyer District in the game.
Well done, Potter, the skipper. He outsmarted him, and that's what it takes. They talk about the big moments. Well, that's one of them. He got him off the hook.
It certainly is. We've seen 2 big moments. Here's Clayton Andrew. We saw George Fayud, who forced that initial error, and then Mason Potter getting his side out of jail there, and now coming away from their own end. Here's Stephen Buse. Strong tackle there from Vai Nanai. The halfback of Trinity Bay, a good chase, good pressure there from Nanai on the kick as well, which enables Liam O'Brien a bit of time and space here. Looking to slice through that gap, and look where they are, David. Tackle number 1, just short of halfway.
Yeah, you'll take that every day of the week. Great chance to get a 6 tackle set in the own half already after 1.
Etaru.
Clumsy. He's down injured, Etaru.
George Fayud, gee, they've got some sizable halves, don't they? Trinity Bay, Fayud and Nanai. That was Fayud who's playing 5'8", jumper number 15, and here's Bray again. Well, surely they've got to think about the field goal here, Trinity Bay. Chris Sippy.
Oh, high. That'll be a penalty, I think.
And now 20 metres out from the try line, Trinity Bay received the penalty. A big penalty.
That's massive. 10 metres to the right-hand side of the upright. I think the penalty had to be given. It was a stepping run initially by Fayud, was it? Yeah, there he is getting attention.
And Captain Kieran Thompson, he wasted no time in letting the referee know, we're going to take the 2 here.
Yes, pretty easy decision. This will decide the match if he converts. And yeah, there's the stepping action and a bit of the high shot. I think it might have been by Kerwick, and it was clumsy. It wasn't a swinging arm, but it was. He did definitely had it hooked above the shoulders and around the neck area. The referee had no other option but to give the penalty. And boy, oh boy, imagine how the boys now are on the respective sides are thinking. Let's think about the Lockyer District side, the ones that are standing back at the moment, helpless in a lot of ways. They can do nothing about it now. They've just got to hope and pray.
So Vai Nanai to win the grand final. What would be going through his mind right now, David?
Process, head down, stay down. You've done it a lot of times before. Keep your cool, take a breath and knock it through.
So Vai Nanai for the championship. 20 metres out, 10 in from centre. Nanai strikes it, he's got it, and Trinity Bay win the 2022 Queensland Schoolboy Trophy. 18 points to 16. They do it in extra time. The school from Cairns. And have a look at them. Elation, pure elation here at Moreton Daly Stadium. Trinity Bay 18, Lockyer District 16, the final score.
Yeah, well done Trinity Bay. They were down by 10 points to 0 with a minute up to half time, and they held their nerve. They hit back to get it to 10-6 at half time. And we've said a number of times, they made a lot of errors today, far too many. But I tell you what, they made sure they hung in there and hung in there. I was really impressed with the way they fought back. They played to their strengths. As I said on a couple of occasions, they got a big pack. And they used that big pack to set a platform. And to their credit, then put themselves in a position to get into to Golden Point. And then got the penalty. And Nanai, under a lot of pressure, those aren't taken easily. Those kicks, there's everything riding on it for the school, for the pupils. And TBay, I know, Drury, have got in mind to try and get up into the Aaron Payne Cup. So this is the start. Next year, they set up their rugby league program.
All right, let's have a look at the highlights of an action-packed grand final, the 2022 Queensland Schoolboy Trophy final. Here are the highlights.
Yeah, nice work here. First try here by Kera Pan. Kera Penn gets that first try with a good run, and then a bit more pressure coming on. There's that good pass out. Trinity Bay puts him over in the corner, and that was it was O'Brien. So well done there, Trinity Bay now. Or I should say, that's that good pass, that one. I like the way that they went to the line and put up Carapan again for his second. That got it back to 16 all. This was pressure on Liston. The ball goes on the deck. It ended up 16 all at full time, and then well done by Nanai to convert that goal under pressure.
So 18 points to 16, the full-time score. Trinity Bay victorious. A double to Liam O'Brien and Aidan Casely with the other try for Trinity Bay. Lockyer District a double to Shonathan Carapan, and also a try to Stephen Buse. And of course that match-winning penalty goal from Vi Nanai for Trinity Bay in extra time, winning them the championship, and they will take home the 2022 Queensland Schoolboy Trophy. Congratulations to Trinity Bay, winners 18 points to 16 over Lockyer District here in the final. We'll leave you with images of the presentation. We'll go down to Andy Raymond shortly. Until then, from the commentary box, we'll see you shortly. Stay